An island in the middle of the world's highest navigable lake has been hiding a 5,500-year-old secret. And what archaeologists just confirmed is rewriting everything we thought we knew about ancient civilization in the Andes. If you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we cover stories exactly like this one. Drop a comment below with your thoughts as we go. And if this blows your mind as much as it blew ours, share it with someone who loves history. High in the Bolivian Andes, at an elevation of nearly 3,800 meters above sea level, sits Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable lake on Earth. At its heart lies a rugged, windswept landmass known as the Island of the Sun. For centuries, it was known primarily as a sacred center of Inca civilization, the very place where, according to Inca mythology, the sun itself was born and the first Inca rulers, Manco Capac and Mama Oclo, emerged to found their empire. But scholars long assumed that serious, sustained human settlement here came relatively late in the region's prehistoric timeline. That assumption has now been overturned. A research team, led by archaeologist Charles Stanish of the University of South Florida, re-examined excavated samples from a site on the island's northeastern shore called Titicaca. Using modern accelerator mass spectrometry, a highly precise radiocarbon dating technique, they dated those samples and published their findings in the peer-reviewed journal Latin American Antiquity. The results were startling. People were living on this island as far back as 3,635 BC, making the site roughly 5,500 years old. What makes this discovery genuinely mysterious isn't just the age, it's the implications of where people were living. Even during periods when Lake Titicaca's water levels were considerably lower than today, the Island of the Sun was almost certainly not connected to the mainland. That means whoever settled here over 5 millennia ago had to get there by boat. They needed watercraft capable of carrying not just people, but tools, food, and building materials across open, cold, high-altitude water. And they didn't just visit. The site shows continuous occupation from approximately 3,500 BC all the way to around 160 BC, a span of over 3,000 years of unbroken human presence. Layer upon layer of activity, generation after generation, on a remote island that demanded serious maritime capability just to reach. Even more intriguing, researchers found obsidian and other stone materials at the site that did not originate on the island. These materials were brought from the mainland repeatedly over centuries. This points to an organized, sustained network of exchange and transport long before the Inca ever existed. Researchers are careful not to overstate what the evidence shows. What the data confirms is early, sustained habitation and regular contact with mainland communities. What remains debated is why this island was chosen so early, and whether its sacred status in later Inca cosmology was inherited from much older traditions or developed independently over time. Some researchers believe the island's geographic prominence, highly visible, centrally located in the lake, and naturally dramatic, may have given it ritual or symbolic significance long before the Inca formalized that reverence into state religion. Others caution that we cannot project later spiritual meaning backward onto earlier occupants without stronger evidence. The honest scientific position is this: we know people were here far earlier than expected, we know they maintained contact with the outside world, and we know the site was used continuously for thousands of years. The deeper meaning behind all of that is still an open question. This discovery matters for several reasons that extend well beyond Bolivia. It demonstrates that complex, organized human communities were operating in some of the most challenging environments on Earth. High altitude, island isolated, cold, thousands of years before the rise of the great Andean empires we learned about in school. It also raises urgent questions about how much of the ancient world's early history remains hidden, waiting for modern dating technology to reveal it. Samples that sat in storage for 30 years, reanalyzed with better tools, completely changed the historical timeline. How many more sites are waiting for the same treatment? Here's what we want to know. If a remote island at nearly 4,000 meters above sea level was continuously inhabited for over 3,000 years, what do you think kept people there? Was it resources, ritual, protection, or something we haven't considered yet? Tell us in the comments. If this story made you see ancient history differently, give this video a like. It genuinely helps more people find content like this. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we go deep on discoveries that don't always make the headlines, but absolutely should. Share this with a history lover in your life, and we'll see you in the next one.